Hello. Kind of a different. I start literally every video like this for some reason, but kind of a different video. It's not. I wouldn't say necessarily a review, but it is because I am technically reviewing something, but I'm not reviewing a specific product. I'm reviewing, I guess, a company because it's more than one product from the same company, but it's like an overall review. I guess I don't know. I apologize now for the dripping sound. My window unit over here. I turned it off so you could hear me, and it's dripping into our bucket. Um, but yeah, if you can't tell by the fact that I'm not wearing a hat, it's a hair product. Um, I guess the name of this video, I don't know why I always act like when I make a video that it's like a secret. Like, you'll eventually know what I'm talking about because I'm. Anyway, the title of this video is, I guess, gonna be Is Vo5 Actually Amazing? The reason and the point of that is, so I'm gonna give you a little story because it's kind of context of the whole video. That's why it's kind of not a review, but it is. Um, if you can't tell, I have super thick, curly hair. Like, my hair is like ridiculously hard to take care of. Um, Not only that, but I have very dry scalp. I spent most of my life assuming that I had dandruff, and I actually just had dry scalp. Um, and spent years and all kinds of money on different shampoos and conditioners, and even going to like doctors and stuff and getting prescribed shampoos and conditioners, and none of them worked until one day. I forget how exactly happened, but somebody basically said you might have a dry scalp problem and not dandruff. And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, this was years and years and years ago, and I never even knew dry scalp was a thing. I just thought if you had flakes, you had dandruff. Like, that was it. Um, and somebody's like, no, you actually need to be using stuff with oils in it to keep your scalp moisturized. Not to mention it probably wouldn't hurt because of my hair type. Because my hair is super frizzy and ridiculously hard to take care of. Sorry, I keep looking. There was a spider over here when I got out here, and then it poofed. Uh, but yeah, my hair is ridiculously hard to take care of, and they were like, well, so, you might want to use something with argan oil or coconut oil or whatever in it. And for years, it's kind of been an up and down battle with me trying to find a product that I like that also I can afford. Because for one, the type of products that I need generally aren't affordable. But not only that, not a lot of companies make good um, oil infused products. Like, there's a lot of companies that out there make oil infused products, but they don't work like they're supposed to. And everybody's different, obviously. But for me personally, like, I've used the Aussie stuff, I've used the Garnier stuff, I've used the Tresemme stuff, I've used the L'Oreal stuff. Like, I've used literally every single thing. I've even used Head and Shoulders stuff. Like, every company you could think of that's on the shelf in like a Walmart, I've used. And there's only been a handful over the years that I can even think in my head of that actually worked for me. Um, for a while, I was using the Garnier Whole Blends. I want to say it's like coconut something. It worked for me fantastic. I used the shampoo and the conditioner. With how my hair type is, I have to wash my hair once a week and then condition every day. So, so I'm not like ridiculously drying out my scalp, and the conditioner can do its job and actually condition my scalp to keep me from being flaky. And then, but for whatever reason, like after a year or two, I think they changed their ingredients because it went from being super amazing to making me super flaky and drying my hair out. So I don't know. For a short period of time, like maybe a month, I was using Aussie. like Miracle Moist, I think it's called, with their coconut oil or something in it. It worked okay for a little bit until it started making my hair ridiculously dried out and making me flaky. Um, I used some stuff from Sally's for a while, but it got too expensive. I used Hask for a while, but for me, it made my hair way too oily. I used their argan oil uh, version, and I liked it because it had a mixture of different oils. It just wasn't argan; it was argan base with like coconut and a bunch of other stuff. So it was nice. Um, but I noticed like after a day or two, I could just do this, and my hand would be greasy, and I really didn't like that. Um, it worked great on my scalp and my hair, but it just I didn't like that it made me feel greasy. I just no. Um, and then for the last probably 2 years, I've been using, I think it's called Ren Pure. It's like a really big, like 32-ounce bottle from Walmart for like $7. I mean, it's kind of expensive, but for what you get, I mean, it would last me like 3 months. So it was kind of worth it. And to be fair, I really, really, really liked it. And I still really like it. But I don't know why, but I got this weird thought in my head that I wanted to get into vintage stuff. One, and again, the reason I'm giving y'all this context because it leads me to the point of why I got these products. Sorry if you hate talking videos, just scroll to the end. Um, but my hair, as you can see, is very frizzy and poofy and thick and curly and all that. Well, for years, I've always wanted to grow my hair out, like actually grow it out long. And what's kept me from doing that is, as some of you may or may not know, the longer you grow your hair, the more product you have to use to keep your hair looking good. Like right now, the way my hair looks, this is about the longest I like to get. Like when I start combing my hair back, that's when I get a haircut. Because generally, when I actually have a haircut, there's a fade here. Like from like here all the way down is a one. And you know what I mean? Like a one guard. This is generally combed forward, but when it starts getting long, I comb it back because I wear a hat. Um, but you got to use more and more conditioner and more product in your hair to kind of get it to do what it needs to do. So you can go and do the whole growing out process easier. At least that's the theory. Um, and with me doing that, I don't know what in my mind got me doing this, but I started using a lot of like pomades and a lot of petroleum based products. Um, I know a lot of people would sit there and say, "Oh, I don't do that," and I get that. But the reasoning for that, for me at least, is because I tried. I heard a buzzing. I tried to do that. Like I tried to grow up my hair years and years and years ago, and I used nothing. And for a while, when I was using nothing, it was like a nightmare. Sorry, something in my eye. Might be the pollen. But it was an absolute nightmare. And so my wife, when I first met her, she was using, I think it's Softy brand from Dollar Tree. It's their like hair food little jar. Like I think she was using the coconut oil one. When she does like her hair in pigtails or in ponytail braids, whatever you want to call them, I don't know. Um, she would use it almost as like a shine finisher to kind of like get the flyaways to lay down, to give her hair a sheen, but also keep the hair, down. Anyway, that was sitting on the counter, and I was like, well, I'll try it. You know what I mean? Like maybe throwing some in my hair and combing it back because I did the whole Corey Taylor look thing. You know what I mean? Buzzed one or two on the sides and then leave everything on the top. And I did that for a while. Like kind of wet my hair, run some through it, and it worked great. And I actually got my hair like from here all the way down to about right here, and then I stopped for some reason. I don't remember. Um, but that stuff actually really helped me a lot in my process. Not to mention, a lot of people will, I know, again, nowadays probably not, but a lot of people will actually recommend petroleum products to help with dry scalp because it's in fact a moisturizer. That's why it's in Vaseline. Um, and so in my head, it was like, well, I can use this, and even if I do, like, it's great for my scalp as far as keeping me from being dry, blah, 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 blah. And then I got on this whole path of using vintage products because I was using stuff like Murray's and Dax and uh, Royal Crown, stuff, like Elvis and Johnny Cash used back in the day. Um, that, like hair dressings and stuff. And I was like, well, I wonder, I'm getting to the point, guys, sorry. I wonder if there's a vintagey shampoo and conditioner brand out here. Because the reason I got to this point, sorry, um, with my shampoo and conditioner is because mine is so oil based, it wasn't really getting the petroleum stuff out of my hair. Like I needed something a little bit harsher, um, but still worked. And then that's when I started looking to see if there was a vintage brand still out there. And for whatever reason, a bell went off in my head, and I was like, Vo5. Like, I've used Suave, I've used White Rain, like, I've used all the El Cheapo brands, I've used all the stuff at the store, as I said earlier. I've never used Vo5. And I got to thinking, like, Vo5's been around forever. I think it was the 70s or 80s, like, everybody used Vo5. It was supposed to be this amazing brand, and they're still around. And then when that clicked, I started remembering, like, I think I went down this rabbit hole years ago of looking into them because they're supposedly for the price, they have all kinds of vitamins and oils and stuff in their products. And I was like, it just doesn't make much sense to me because of the price. Because you can get the bigger bottles at Dollar Tree for $1.25, and then the smaller bottles at Walmart for 80 cents. And it was like, I can't see these being good because again, I've used Suave, which is like $3 or $4. I've used Aussie, which is like $4 or $5. You know what I mean? Like I've used everything from the bottom shelf all the way up. They all suck. That's why I'm using like ridiculously fancy stuff like Palmer's and Ren Pure and you know what I mean? Like all these brands that cost more. I've even tried Mane and Tail. Like all that stuff made my hair ridiculously frizzy or my scalp super dry or both. And I was like, well, for $1.25, kind of worth it, right? And I started going down this rabbit hole of like looking in the ingredients and whatnot on their website because they used to have a dry scalp version and blah 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 blah. They don't have all that now. They pretty much only have what's just on their website. So I started looking, and as always, the men products are like a 3-in-1 or a 2-in-1. I don't use any of those because those are horrible for your hair to begin with. Some guys out there are lucky enough to use, Dawn dish liquid on their hair and it worked fine. I can't do that. I've tried using men's products on my hair. They don't ever work. But anyway, about a month ago, I bought a bottle of these exact same ones. These aren't the ones, but they're. I've went through the other version. These are the exact same ones that I bought, but different ones. But I paid attention to the ingredients, and that's one of the things that I wanted to point out in this video is they're not all equal. Um, some of them has biotin in them, some of them has like stuff in it to make your hair more, more volume and all that good stuff. I needed something packed full of oils to, hang on. Sorry about that. Apparently, we're getting ready to get a storm, and those were getting on my nerves. Anyway, I needed something packed full of oils, because at the end of the day, my main goal is to keep my scalp moisturized. Some of them have a couple oils in them, and some of them don't really have nothing. These two in particular, it's kind of a happy accident because the particular Dollar Tree that I went to, these were the only two they actually had in the entire store. And so it kind of, based off of their website, I only had two options anyway. And the other ones they had, I didn't like. So when it came to a conditioner, it was either between this and the kiwi one. And the kiwi one, I just didn't like the way it smelled. And then this was the only shampoo with oils and stuff in it that was like a moisturizing shampoo that they even had. So I did have a choice on this one. But yeah, these are the two I recommend because these are two I've used. Um, they say that their shampoos are more stripping, which they are because they do have sulfate in them. They're free of silicone, paraben, and mineral oil, but they do have sulfates. Sorry. But I don't. Oh, the shampoo does, not the conditioner. I don't mind sulfates because again, I'm only using the shampoo once a week, so I don't mind that deep um, stripping cleanse because I'm only doing it once a week. But this is the shampoo that I recommend. It's the passion fruit smoothie. Smells great. I've been using it for over a month, and that's all I've used because again, I only use it once a week. So. But yeah, it smells great. And that's another thing that I like about these. They always smell good. The scents last a long time too. I'm one of those people that if I take a shower, I mean not if you know what I mean. I take a shower, I want to smell good. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those people that spend $12 on a bar of soap from a big name company that's natural. I mean, I get natural's better, but I want to get out the shower and you be like, God, you smell really good. Not walk out and I smell like, yeah. Anyway, this is the. Sorry, I just grabbed these out the shower and they're still wet. um, this is the conditioner I recommend because this one in particular is packed full of oils. And here's the reason that I'd say what I said is Vo5 actually amazing because what I'm getting out of this product, I should not be getting out of this product. This is the part of the video that matters to some of y'all. Um, this product is way better than it should be. I don't even know how to explain it. Like it's got okay, let me go through what's in it and then I'll get to the point. There's sunflower oil, there's almond oil, there's mango oil, there's chamomile oil, there's rosemary oil, vitamin E, biotin, vitamin C, vitamin B5, vitamin B3. All of this is in this. Sorry. I was reading the directions. I never read the directions before. I'm stupid like that. It's made in Canada. I'm still getting it. But yeah, free of silicones, parabens, and mineral oil. 5 oils plus 5 vitamins. It's right here on the bottle. Softens and shines. So here's my point to why I'm even making this video. This stuff works ridiculously well. Not to mention, I don't know how and why. Because as I said before, I've used from the bottom to the top, and I've never found a product, one, that works this well, two, this cheap. Like I don't get it. Like, yeah, the Ren Pure and stuff that I typically use works great. Don't get me wrong, I love my Ren Pure stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and put my hat on because yeah, I feel naked without a hat, as you can tell by the line. I love my Ren Pure stuff, but after about 3 days, my hair starts kind of feeling oily. Not greasy necessarily, but oily. This stuff almost works like a co-wash. And if you're not really familiar with what a co-wash is, a co-wash is basically an in-between of a shampoo and a conditioner, but not a shampoo. Um, like it's stripping enough to make you feel clean. And this is another reason why I'm recommending this, because if you're like me and you've got ridiculously frizzy and dry hair and a dry scalp, um, generally, unless you use a ton of hair products, Just using shampoo and conditioner alone, your only real thing you can do is use conditioner every day. And again, you'll feel oily. And the problem with that is, yeah, you're cleaning your hair, but a lot of people feel like when you do something like that, you're not necessarily getting clean because you're not shampooing every day or every other day. That's where this comes in. Um, it works almost like a shampoo. Like, it's so hard to explain because like I said, I've never experienced this with any other product I've ever used. Um, it works literally almost as good as a shampoo without stripping. Like it strips just enough to leave you squeaky clean. Like your scalp feels clean, your hair feels clean. Like you'll have to try it in the shower if you want to know like exactly what I mean. But it's weird. Like you know how most conditioners, when you use them in your hair, almost feel like a lotion. Like they're super smooth and creamy. Which this is smooth and creamy, but it's a different smooth and creamy. Like if you were to put lotion in your hand and do this, you would feel something on your hand, almost like a residue. This almost feels like you did it, but with soap, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't leave your hair in the shower feeling like super slick and lotiony. Neither does your hand, but you'll notice when you get out, like your hair feels softer but it's still clean. Like it strips enough to where you feel clean and not disgusting and oily, but it moisturizes enough to one, I don't ever have flakes anymore or a super dry scalp, and two, it leaves my hair feeling ridiculously soft and moisturized. Like I mean, like I said, this is I washed my hair last Saturday because my hair wash day is Saturday. I washed my hair last Saturday and I just got out the shower because I was mowing the grass and just conditioned only today, and this is what it looks like shiny, soft, no. Like with other stuff I use, even with my Ren Pure, like if I skip a day, like right in here, I'll have like in my hair follicles and stuff, I'll have like little pieces of dry skin, and then I'll literally have to go through the trouble of like throwing some beard oil or something in my hair just to kind of give it a little extra moisturization so that goes away. I can do this and I have no flakes. Like I wear 98% of the time black clothes. I only wear black shirts. I'm only wearing this is because I was invited to the event and they gave it to me. Um, and I wear this as a house shirt. But if I'm out and about, I'm always wearing a black shirt. And I don't have flake problems. And it's weird because, like I said, I almost feel like I'm washing my hair every single day, but I'm not. And I like that because for the people out there that don't do the routine that I do, when you tell them you only wash your hair once a week and you condition every day, usually people are like, because all they heard was you don't wash your hair every day or every other day and that your hair is disgusting. You will not have that problem with this stuff. It's so weird. Um, because, like I said, I don't have a dry scalp. I don't have an itch problem. I don't um, have a frizz problem. I don't have a build-up problem, which is another problem when you use a very moisturizing conditioner, is you get scalp build-up, which I hate because after the 3 or 4 day mark, you do this and you're like, ugh. That's just part of it. Don't have that problem with this. Not to mention, even on the day where you do wash your hair, I can use this, even though it's stripping, and then use this, and still no issues um, with dryness. It's crazy, and not to mention, I'm in the summer right now, so like I'm in the time of the year where funkiness is very well noticed. I have zero funk. Not to mention, I get compliments all the time with how good my hair smells. This I'll probably buy the shampoo version of this, but I might not just because I don't know if there's a huge difference in the oils. But I'm absolutely in love with the conditioner version. This is like my third bottle. In fact, I actually already went and bought another bottle that's sitting in my bathroom ready when I run out of this. It smells so good. And I know, like, if you're a dude out there watching this and you're like, it's too feminine, and I get you. But at the same time, if you're a dude out here watching this and you have my problem, then you either A, don't know that you should be using women's products because men's products generally suck for hair like mine, or B, you already use women's products and you are fully aware of we kind of get screwed out of having stuff that smells good for men because that's why I typically like to stay with coconut oil stuff too because it smells coconutty. But yeah, my only options when it came to these is the strawberries and cream, or like I said, I think it was kiwi and lime, and it just didn't do it for me. I mean, some other people might like the smell of the kiwi lime. I really like the way this smells. It's almost nostalgic in a way. I don't know if it's because it reminds me of my wife or my mom or what, but yeah, something about it just it reminds me of something, and I don't know. I mean, it even says long lasting fragrance. I like the way it smells. It's not like ridiculously perfumey, but you can tell it's not a dude scent. I don't know what to tell you. Um, but yeah, I absolutely love it. I'm probably gonna switch specifically to this brand from now on. I'm actually even thinking about trying their hot. I think it's called a hot oil scalp treatment. Um, it was like a big seller back in the 70s for the women with the gorgeous, beautiful hair. I think that was even like part of the commercial. Um, Big flowy blonde hair or whatever. But I've seen it a lot. I think it's like $3 or $4 for like a week's worth of like capsules or whatever I guess you call it. Um, but yeah, it's basically just a bunch of oils, I believe, that you can stick in your hair and just leave. I think there's two versions actually. I think there's one that you use when you're in the shower, and then another one that I think you're supposed to do like a process with. I don't know. One of them I'll probably try. If that interests you, let me know. Um, I'll probably do the review of it if I end up liking it because it's another one of those Vo5 products that just are cool. That's been around forever. That I'm curious about because it's an oil treatment and oil, you know, helps your hair. I wish America was different. Apparently, in like the UK and stuff, VO5 is bumping and is like ridiculously amazing. Whereas in the US, all you get is like this crap in Walmart and Dollar Tree or the oil treatments. That's basically it. In the UK, they've got shampoos, and when I say shampoos, I mean like the VO5 shampoo in the UK is like Aussie and L'Oreal and Tresemme here, like a whole line, like hairspray, gel, creams, like all kinds of stuff. I think even body washes, mousse, like all of that stuff's over there, and then here it's like this. That's all you get. You get different scents, but it's all basically this. Um, Another thing too, don't have like a lot of experience with this because I'm not balding. But I will say this: if you're one of those people that are balding in the sense of you need a clarifying shampoo or something because you have an oily scalp. Sorry, I think we're about to get a storm. But if you have an oily scalp and you were told that you produce too much scalp oils and that's what's making you bald, you might want to try out this brand because even if you have to condition a lot, this is stripping enough to where it keeps you from being super oily on your scalp. Not to mention it has biotin, which is great for regrowing hair. So yeah, like I had the dude that I used to do videos with. He had a balding period, which is really weird. He went from like having super luxurious long hair to thinning right here. And come to find out, it was because he went from using Axe shampoo, which was ridiculously stripping every single day of his life, to actually caring about his hair and using nice shampoos and conditioners. Come to find out, he had a ridiculously oily scalp. And when he switched from something that was stripping every single day to something that had oils in it, I guess it started blocking his hair follicles or whatever, and it started making him go bald. And when he started going back to something that was stripping and clarifying, his hair grew back. So, this is another thought. If you're curious and you don't want to spend like a ridiculous amount of money on stuff, this might be a possible option. They actually do, if I'm not mistaken, they have a volume one, and then they had another one that's like just a straight up biotin keratin one. So, and then the moisturizing line and the men's 2-in-1 or whatever. But yeah, give those a shot if that's an issue that you may be having, because for me at least, it's tripping enough to where I don't have a super built up oily scalp, but I have a moisturized scalp, and I personally feel like it's much nicer. Not to mention, I've noticed my hair, like even though I have thick hair to begin with, my hair feels so much thicker than before. Like I have a crown that's weird that a lot of people think is I'm balding because the way it's shaped, it looks thin. But it's looked like that since I was a kid. Like ever since I was like 5, I've gotten haircuts and people are like, "You're gonna go bald," and it's like I'm in my early 30s and I'm still yet to go bald. So I'm not saying I'm going bald, but I'm just saying like if that was a sign of me going bald, I would have already done it, because it still looks exactly the same as it did when I was a kid, and still have plenty of hair. But yeah, like my whole hair and everything just feels so much thicker and softer and luxurious, and it's nice. Not to mention, it always feels clean now. It doesn't like, I don't always feel weird when I take my hat off in the summer and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like if you have to use the stuff I use on a regular basis, you know what I mean. Like you're either a woman that uses like mousse and gel and creams and stuff because you have curls to begin with, or you're a dude and you have like super ridiculously greasy hair because you have to use a lot of oils to keep your hair soft. But yeah, please try this. You don't got to. I don't make no money. Plus, it's like $1 to begin with. But yeah, if you're like me and you have this issue, give them a shot. I recommend trying it for at least a week, because I will say this: the first time I tried it, I wasn't super happy. Just because I went straight from using what I was using to using this. Not to mention, the first time I did use this, I used it on a wash day. So I did the shampoo, then I did the conditioner, and like the first time I looked, like I had like little dry skin scabs almost on my scalp, and I'm like, oh god, here we go. Here comes the flakes. And then the next day I got up, because I take a shower at night. Next day I got up, I'm like, wait, my scalp looks clean. What happened? I'm like, okay, maybe it's a fluke. Condition the next day. Nothing. Okay, maybe it's built up stuff from the hair grease I've been using. Next day, nothing. Then I made it past my shampoo period again, because I'm like, well, if there's any leftover crap in my hair, that'll get it out. Still fine. So, after a month or so of still using it, we're good. Apologize again for long videos. I know some people will sit here and be like, oh, I hate when you do long videos. There's a thing at the bottom where you can move it for a reason. Like, I don't like to be super short because, one, I can't edit my videos. Two, I'm being real. I'm not some robot on TikTok or Facebook, YouTube, that's going to sit here and sell you a product. I'm giving you a review. And for me personally, to give you a full review and insight to a product with some context as to why I'm using the product, it takes time. I'm sorry, but YouTube is full of robots that sit there and tell you, my butt stunk. I bought this product. My butt no longer stinks. Buy it. Like, I give you this long speech because for someone like me, if you're watching a video like this, you might not know the person's hair type. You might not know the reason the person tried out the product. You know, all of that stuff to me is why I went into this product. Not only that, but it's working for me. And so most people like me would see this, and if I didn't give you context, would be like, it's not going to work for me. I have super dry, ridiculously frizzy hair, dry scalp, blah, 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 blah. There's no way $1.25 bottle of shampoo and conditioner is going to work for me. I give you 20 minutes of context, and then you can say, oh, he has my hair problem. He has my scalp problem. This may work for me. Not to mention, I tell you what products I've used and products that I do use, and you might say, I use that now. I get what he's saying. You know, I give you more because to me it matters. Here comes the rain. Um, but yeah, I try to go in depth because at the end of the day, I'm not making no money doing this. I'm just a dude that uses products, and if he likes them, he tells you what he thinks. Buy them, don't buy them, I don't care. Again, I don't get paid whether you do or you don't. I make no money from this. But yeah, if this sounds like you at all, give them a shot. I think you'll enjoy it. Till next time, next video.